Hi, I'm Peter Travers, movie critic for Rolling Stone, here to answer the question that you're all thinking about, which is, I know it's only spring, but you're thinking about summer movies. Summer movies, what will they be? What do we need to see? And I'm here to answer your questions. But you know what? Now that I think about it, who cares what I think? Who really cares? I went around and talked to some people that work at Rolling Stone to find out what they think. So let's listen to them.
Thanks for asking, Peter. I'm so glad you want to know what we think is going to be amazing this summer. Personally, I'm excited to see what Glee mastermind Ryan Murphy does with Eat, Pray, Love. But it's Julia Roberts, and it's Ryan Murphy, so it could have some edge to it. And I'm also kind of excited to see what Sex and the City 2 is going to be like. Come on, it's Sex and the City. The first movie was a huge hit, which is why there's a sequel, and the whole show was a huge phenomenon for 6 seasons. So I don't think you can quite go wrong with this movie. And finally, I think Twilight Eclipse is going to either be awesome or awesomely bad. While I know the acting may not have been amazing in the first 2 movies, there's a chance that with this new director, it's going to be fantastic.
All right, Erica, thank you. Thank you so much for saying that. You know, I don't want to see any of those movies, really. Eat, Pray, Love? Spare me. You know, I like Glee, but I just don't want to see Julia Roberts going around eating Italian food and trying to find herself there. I can't. Sex and the City 2? It was hard enough for me to get through Sex and the City 1. I'll give you a little bit of an option in terms of the Twilight movie because it is a new director. There's backstories. That book, Eclipse, was actually better than the other ones. So, okay, I'm a little hopeful about that one. But please don't put me through chick flick hell this summer, please.
I want to see MacGruber. You know, I'm a huge MacGyver fan from back in childhood. I watch it now, it's extremely cheesy, but to mock that is a very funny concept. I can't wait to see MacGruber. I want to see the A-Team. You know, I like movies based off of old sitcoms. I'm a huge fan of that, though they didn't get Mr. T in it. And he turned down a cameo, which is a wise choice. He should be the star of it. He's still alive, he still has the mohawk, he still looks great. I've got to bring back Mr. T. Then there's Piranhas 3D, which if done right could be hysterical. A remake of a late 70s Jaws knockoff. And if they go full on camp with it and make it crazy, it'll be hysterical. Could be the best, worst movie of the entire summer.
Andy, you make a good point, you know? I mean, MacGruber is just the kind of summer movie I find appealing too. They made it for 2 cents, which is what it is. I mean, the skit, which does, you know, make fun of MacGyver, I always thought on Saturday Night Live that skit wasn't worth the 2 minutes they gave it. And yet I've got to say, I've seen a little of MacGruber, and it is funny, so you're right. A-Team, only thing that worries me besides the absence of Mr. T, is basically they spent over $100 million on this. Once Hollywood spends too much money on a movie, they tend to play it safe. I don't think we're going to get that same tacky feel that you're talking about, but I've got hope, Now, when you talk about Piranha 3D, I'm all for that. Yeah, this is tackiness. This is what 3D should be used for. Spend no money, just have tacky effects with the fish maybe coming out and looking incredibly stupid. I'm just as looking forward to that one as you are.
I'm Matt Cooley, and these are my summer movie picks. There's Exit Through the Gift Shop. There's also Lemmy, and don't ever forget, Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
And Matt Cooley, I've got to say to you, so great that you picked 3 movies, and at least one of them is actually coming out this summer. I don't know where you think we're going to see Lemmy. Nobody has actually gotten it. Exit Through the Gift Shop has already been out, so I don't know what you're really talking about. But Scott Pilgrim versus the World, I've seen a bit of that. I've seen it. I've taken a peek. I think this is going to be one of the big ones. It stars Michael Cera. It's imaginatively directed by Edgar Wright, the guy that did those great zombie movies and Hot Fuzz. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. But for me, the great thing about talking to all of these people at Rolling Stone about what they want to see is that nobody mentioned Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2, which is the first movie officially that opens summer, and that will probably be the one that makes the most money. Iron Man 2. Nobody wants to see it. What's going on out there? And then me, the one that I'm most excited about is called Inception, directed by Christopher Nolan, whose last movie was The Dark Knight. Maybe you remember that one. This is the guy that did Memento. This is a real smart director, filmmaker. The movie about Leonardo DiCaprio and dreams and stealing dreams. There's no movie this summer I want to see more than that. What happened to you people? Wake up. Start talking about movies that are original and new and great, not all the tacky stuff. So please, all right, but I'm leaving you alone. I thank you for telling us, and we'll see who's right at the end of the summer.